grab your popcorn, rip that ticket, get in that seat, lickety splicket, go watch a movie.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Go Watch a Movie, episode 169. 69, dude. Day has finally come. The Snyder Cut is here. But before we get into that, a little bit of entertainment news. The Razzies are coming up.
Uh-oh.
The Razzies, if for those of you who don't know, are a award ceremony that gives out awards for horrible acting or bad movies. I'm not going to go through all their stuff, but worst picture nominees for them: 365 Days, Absolute Proof, Doolittle, Fantasy Island, which is one we did, and worst actor: Robert Downey Jr. for Doolittle, Mike Lindell for the My Pillow Guy in Absolute Proof, Michael Moran, 365 Days, Adam Sandler, that Hulu Halloween thing from Netflix, David Spade, The Wrong Missy, worst actress: Anne Hathaway, The Last Thing He Wanted, and The Witches, Katie Holmes, Brahms, The Boys 2, and The Secret Dare to Dream, Kate Hudson, Music, Lauren Lapkus, The Wrong Missy, Anna Marie, not even gonna try that, 365 Days. Yeah, that full list is up on Go Watch a Movie. I do want to dip into their worst remake, ripoff, or sequel: 365 Days, Doolittle, Fantasy Island, Halloween, Adam Sandler thing, which I don't know who that's ripping off, but the last one is Wonder Woman 1984, which I think belongs there. But moving on here, do you remember Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers?
Of course I do.
Chip and Dale Rescue. Well, the live action quotes, because it's CG in our live action world, which I guess still makes it live action, because so was Thanos, and that's still live action.
Yeah.
It is the live action movie. It has started filming by the guys, the Lonely Island boys. I don't know. I'm on a boat, motherfucker. Take up those guys. You know those guys. Andy Seinberg and his crew. I don't know. I think that's a very niche crowd. Like,
Right.
People our age, maybe a little older, maybe a little younger. I think it's a gamble.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I don't know. It's just, but I guess like a Detective Pikachu worked massively. Garfield worked the first time. You know.
Yeah, it's possible. We'll see. I mean, it's definitely going to be a hit or miss.
Yeah. Yeah. And that will bring us to trailers. You first with me, sir.
Go right ahead.
I'm going to do 4 Good Days. This is Melina Kunis and Glenn Close. Melina Kunis looks almost unrecognizable. She's playing a drug addict, trying to recover in a detox clinic. And she has to stay clean for 4 days. And this movie chronicles those 4 days. And she's put in her mother's charge, who feels that she's failed so far at being a mom because her daughter's just a drug addict, messed up. And it's one of those emotional tearjerker type movies where she's, the mom is trying her hardest and she wants to be there but not have her because the daughter feels resentment and and feels like she doesn't need her mom, that sort of thing. Not the normal thing that I watch these movies in the privacy of my own home, but I don't normally bring them to the show. But it looks very interesting, and check that trailer out. 4 Good Days.
Nice. Mine is called The Unholy, and it's a horror movie, obviously. I guess maybe not obviously, but I'm excited for it just because it is a horror.
Lord.
I'm excited for it just because it is new horror and it looks really good. Sam Raimi is doing it. We get a girl who apparently, I guess Mary is somehow speaking through her or something, or she's been touched, so she has the ability to perform miracles, like she can heal you if you can't walk or something, stuff like that. So and there's this investigator or I think he's a reporter or something. He wants things exclusive. So he goes to see her, and it becomes kind of like he's not only doing the interview, but he's also kind of investigating the whole thing, trying to see if it's real or not. And then there's a scene where I think a priest or somebody says, whenever God builds a church, the devil builds a chapel, So it starts to turn a little darker. So you're thinking, okay, who are you actually worshiping here? Is she really talking to Mary? Is it somebody else? And then of course the only thing I don't like about the trailer is that they show kind of a monster that looks like an evil woman towards the end. I think they should have left that maybe out of it, so then you could kind of be surprised. Yeah, but other than that, which kind of gives away the movie. But other than that, I think it looks really good. I think it's going to be a great addition to our horror movies out there.
Wow. You said, like when you said Mary, like Jesus' mom, Mary?
Yes.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody, you get possessed by, that's the person. I'd take it. Awesome. I'll check that one out. I have not seen that one. I'll get both of those up on the site. But that will bring us to Justice League, the Snyder Cut. Do you have to have the Snyder Cut? I guess you do, right?
I think so, because otherwise you're going to be like, well, how are you going to tell them apart?
Yeah, true. Watchbot, if you would not mind.
About goddamn time for this one. Fueled by his restored faith in humanity and inspired by Superman's selfless act, Bruce Wayne enlists newfound ally Diana Prince to face an even greater threat. Together, Batman and Wonder Woman work quickly to recruit a team to stand against this newly awakened enemy. Despite the formation of an unprecedented League of Heroes, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Cyborg and the Flash, it may be too late to save the planet from an assault of catastrophic proportions.
Thank you, Watchbot. 4 hours long. On HBO Max. They're offering intermissions in some theaters. I don't mind long movies. I love the Lord of the Rings length. I think you can tell a lot more story that way. But thoughts about this one. I think there were some things removed that I enjoyed, that I liked, that they were gone. There were some things that were removed that I hated that were removed. One of the main things I love that was removed was Batman's goofy smile when Superman shows up. Fantastic. That's gone. I guess the main question we're going to try and ask here today, that I want to ask here today, is it different enough? And I think I'm on the fence of that. I'm going to try and get to the bottom of that before this end of this episode. What are your initial thoughts on this one?
Initial thoughts, I was right there with you on the length. I saw that. I looked it up before I watched. I'm like, wonder how long is this? So I was like, holy moly, that's a night. So I tackled it in one setting, and I'm glad I did. I will say this much: one of my maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of my complaints about this movie is the length, and also what ties into it is that it didn't really feel like I was watching a movie. I felt like I was binge watching like a show.
Yeah, because of the chapters.
Yeah, because of the chapters. I didn't like that they put the little chapters in there. I wish they could have found a way to go from thing to thing without the big. This is chapter 1. I didn't like that. That kind of bugged me because it took me out of the movie. Because when I watch a movie, sometimes I just kind of almost like disappear into the movie. I'm like almost a character in the movie watching stuff happen. Mm-hmm. And when they do that with the part, it kind of flashes me out of it for a second. Then I go, I got to restart and redive back into it. It's annoying.
Yeah.
The length was a problem to an extent, but it really wasn't something that you couldn't get over. I mean, the thing is good enough that the 4 hours don't really drag, but you do get into moments where you're like, I kind of already know the story because I watched the previous movie that was just like it, and now so it's like I want you to kind of move to that next point where I'm familiar with, but it doesn't really just go there. It takes a while to get there, but I'm glad that they added all the stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, and I'm also really glad that Zack Snyder was able to actually make this movie, like his vision for it, that he was actually able to make it. I didn't realize the story behind Justice League until like much later after I saw it.
With Josh taking over and everything.
Yeah, I didn't know all that until like after. I was like, it's kind of chopped up. Kind of blame the movie. Just maybe the movie wasn't as good as it could have been. But no, there was an actual reason, and I didn't know that. So it's kind of cool to see what his actual vision was for the movie.
And I guess we should tackle that deeper before we jump into the movie, because it is a big part of it, like why people hated that original one so much. He started, on it, and I forget why they kicked him off. Why? Do you remember? I don't remember why he separated, went different ways with that movie. Why Josh took over but anyway, Josh took over, and Joss Whedon, he took over, and we got what we got. But Snyder had a massive vision for not only this movie, but the future of the DC EU. And it wasn't realized, but clearly he had been planning it since Batman v Superman, because this thing starts, it kicks things off like right from that. And I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of that start. Like, I love that.
I love when he basically, I don't want to ruin it for you. I'm assuming everybody either has already seen this or has seen the other one or has seen Batman versus Superman. So let's just assume that, because this is a pretty huge thing. But I love when Superman dies, his scream is heard like all over the planet. It's like the shockwave of it. That's just such an amazing. I mean, of course he can perform that, because he's Superman. But just the thought of it, somebody, I wonder what would happen if Superman died. Would he scream and would everybody hear him? Yep, the whole world felt that shockwave of him dying. Yeah.
I see people joke about the whole, even with the theatrical version, joke about the boom tubes, not waiting until Krypton died on Earth. I'm like, well, why didn't he just come before?
Yeah, I don't understand, because
before Superman got there.
Well, isn't Superman's power comes from our sun, like that particular light?
Yes, I was going to get into that. Yep.
But then in other places, they may not have that kind of a light. It might be a different color sun.
They're just normal folk.
Yeah. So why are they all of a sudden scared? It's these Kryptonians, because there's only one, like, at the moment they should really be worried about.
Mm-hmm.
So that was
that was a question that I always had, like, why are they so terrified of Kryptonians? Because unless, I guess, there are other suns like ours that have done that before and he's witnessed it, but we're going off the assumption that we only have our Superman and Zod and his crew. But yeah, there shouldn't have been that big of a fear. And like, you had all that time between where there wasn't a Krypton, but I guess Earth was lost, as was explained to us in this one. He just showed up here and thought he was going to take it and didn't even bother to do research on it.
Yeah.
I'm here. I don't know where I am, but I'm gonna.
Yeah, he's taking 10,000 other planets. He's just might as well.
Yeah, I guess they all look alike after a while. Huh?
Overconfident.
But he got his ass handed.
Yep.
Good old Darkseid didn't stand a chance there. And
he's fighting gods.
Well, I've seen other fight, gods and stuff, and not bad knife, but not everybody can be that cool. But yeah, Darkseid. I love that battle too, and I was hoping that he altered the. I guess I'm skipping ahead here a little bit now. When the boom tubes, called out and Steppenwolf was looking for them, I was hoping he altered the Atlantis battle a little bit, because we get that epic defense in the Amazon's home. But then there's like 5 guards.
Yeah, I don't know why that was like that was weird. Yeah,
And he takes it with ease.
He thought it was more important to be elsewhere. They're soldiers or something. So I don't know. It was weird.
I guess that was setting up Aquaman because the brother was at that time. They kind of mentioned he's preparing to battle against us. Yeah. But yeah, I just still think that was just silly. And then why just box them up and just put them on pedestals and stuff? And like the Amazon one. So was the plan to? I'm assuming they didn't think people could just teleport in there, and they would just close it up and drop it into the ocean.
I'm guessing,
but they had to do the reverse, get it out, and then close it. I don't know what they were going for.
They were trying to trap those dudes in there or something, but they should have realized they could just teleport out and then come back again.
There has to be a better way to defend those things. Like, why put them on pedestals?
They've been on that island. They've been on that island for too long.
Yes. That's what I was thinking the whole time when she's like, we got to let Diana know. Get the super arrow. I'm like, Wonder Woman needs to drop her mom off a cell phone. This would be a lot easier for her. Is she allowed back on Themyscira?
I don't. In that storyline, I don't think so.
Okay.
But yeah, it doesn't matter. It's fine.
Yeah. What are your initial thoughts on this first movie?
On the first one?
Of this first part of this, yeah.
Oh, the first part? Yeah. I think every part.
Was it different enough?
I think every part was an improvement.
Yes.
But I don't think it's different enough to change my mind about the ending. Because the ending was essentially the same, minus like an extra scene where they race, which I did miss.
Oh, you didn't miss this?
I did miss. Because it reminds me of the I did, because I remember the cartoon, and I remember they doing that on the cartoon.
Yes.
So seeing that in the movie felt like a nod to that, good time of watching that cartoon way back in the day. So that's why I enjoy that. But yeah, I thought it was different enough to where I felt like I wasn't watching the same movie twice.
Yes, I will agree with you there.
It did not feel like I was watching the same thing twice. This definitely felt like its own thing.
I loved, my favorite part of all of it is the new sprinkled in nightmare sequences stuff, because we got a look of that in Batman v Superman, and it's like, what is this? What's happening? But this filled in those gaps. This let us know exactly what that was, and that it may still happen. So
yeah. Maybe it is happening on another.
Yeah, from what the Joker said, because he's like, I wonder how many multiverse. But what do you think of Leto's Joker in this? I still don't like it.
It's not my favorite, so I don't know. It's okay. I understand what he was trying to do. He was kind of trying to do his own thing and basically did, but I don't know. It's just so. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just too psychotic and not enough happy.
But we got a lot of explanation in that. I know we're skipping way ahead, but we got a lot of explanation in that little rant he did. Like, Batman did get Robin killed in this, which I guess we saw in Batman v Superman, and the fact that Lewis is the key of everything. Like, if she goes, Superman will cross over to Darkseid, or has, like you said, in some other multiverse world, or so yeah, that's freaking insane. But that is one of the things I hated, that it got changed, because in the theatrical cut, she was Bruce's plan B if Superman went crazy, which I thought, that's very Batman like. Whereas in this one, it's just like, I'm just going to stand here and he may kill me, but I don't care. Oh, why? No, Clark, no, don't, Clark. Oh, no. And he got lucky that she just so happened to be there. So I like that other idea that, you guys hold him off because he's going to be mad, and I shouldn't be there because he's going to be mad at me, and I'll go get plan B. I like that.
That is more Batman to have that plan B, but I didn't mind this approach because it was almost like fate because she wasn't going to go there anymore. That was her last time. So I did like that. That it was like it was fate that she was. It's like she knew she had to be there, but she just didn't know when. And when she finally decided, maybe it's time for me to leave, then
and she got that extra push from
another character, which I did like seeing him, but I didn't like that they didn't give him more.
Yeah,
I feel like they should have just went ahead and slapped him in there and just like, why not?
Yeah, he should have helped because he's like, no, it's time for me to stop working on the sidelines, and he still works on the sidelines. But it's cool that they're like, hey, he's been here the whole time because he was playing that same guy in the last two movies. So I think Man of Steel he was there, and Batman v Superman. I really like I think it felt improved other than the parts I've mentioned. I really enjoyed that they took out that whole they smell fear bullshit. Remember that in the first one, the little dark side minions, they smelled fear, and that's how they defeated the Flash and all that stuff. I'm so happy they took that out because it made no sense, and then it made no more sense with the host. Yeah, it was just dumb. I did like the detail. They went into a lot more detail with some of the quote unquote origins as well. I thought that was nice.
Yes, it was nice to see like some of the other I call them side characters give more film time so we can actually feel more for the character instead of just whatever they're just there. We already know who they are, and poof. I did think some of the scenes though. Here's a complaint. I do have one complaint. Some of the music choices for the scenes where he was trying to make this grand moment. I didn't really get into. I think if maybe different music had been played, I would have maybe connected more with it. But it's fine. That's his choice. I'm sure somebody really enjoyed those particular moments and music. But that kind of was like, they're not the greatest for me. But it did kind of make me. Some of it was kind of somber, but maybe that's the mood he was going for. It was a more somber feel throughout the entire thing. Maybe I just wasn't feeling somber because I'm used to, maybe Marvel movies have changed me or something. I don't know. And I also noted a point that it felt this entire movie was centered around like survivor guilt. Like, if you're in a group of people and they all die and you don't, you have that guilt, so you feel like you know what I mean?
You think Bruce was going through that?
Yeah, Bruce was definitely going through that. I mean, multiple, because not only Superman, but his parents. Yeah. Diana obviously lost her loved one, and so she was going through that. The Flash, I think he lost his mother. And
his dad is locked up.
And then, so he had multiple. He had it's not just survivor's guilt, but it was also daddy issues. So it was one or the other, or it was both.
They all have daddy issues.
Cyborg had both for sure, because he was like, daddy issues. Plus, he had lost his mom. So everybody had similar things going on. So I think it felt like the theme of the movie was just like survivor guilt or daddy issues, and I just thought that was weird how everybody had that kind of connection.
Yeah, they're all basically fucking big kids trying to deal with their parent baggage.
Essentially, dress up.
Cyborg didn't have a choice, poor bastard. But still, when he was on the football field, I was like, wait, are they gonna connect this to Dark Knight Rises? It's like his vein coming out. But what I didn't like? So, and this is going to sound picky because I shouldn't be comparing the two because they are very different cinematic universes. But Marvel, when the Avengers all get together, we get this very awesome, doesn't seem forced at all. And then the camera goes down, they all land one by one, and the camera circles and pans around, look at it, it's so natural looking, and it's amazing. And this now it seems so forced because they all get together, land on the road, Batman's there, Aquaman's there, Wonder Woman's there, Flash is there, and it literally pauses briefly to give you a shot. That's the whole team. and then restarts. I'm like, what? Why? It just felt so unnatural. And I know that's a little nitpicky thing, but It's
Nothing wrong with nitpicking. I mean, the film almost you out of the movie, then there's a reason for it. Maybe it was the best choice. I do miss a line. I talked about it with a coworker. He didn't agree with me, but I missed the line that Superman gives Batman when he comes back to life. And he's like, "You won't let me live, and you won't let me die." I mean, that's for me. That was one of the lines that I liked the most from the first one. Or I don't want to call it the first one, but the 2017 one. Even though it's different movie, I know different direction, different writing, whatever. I still miss that line. I wish he had used it because I felt like it really fit the somber feel of this one.
It does, yeah.
I feel like that really. I don't like Batman's response because the world needs you, and then you get no, lovey-dovey, bromance. But I do like "You won't let me live, you won't let me die." I think that kind of spoke volumes about Superman's experience.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and that Superman is not this, perfect thing. Like he's just as tortured.
He basically the endings though are they give me the same almost feel. They did cut the family out, which I don't think that anybody misses the Russian family at the end of the movie that they had to kind of save while they were.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't think that was necessary. So I'm happy that they concentrated just on the fight and what was going on instead of that extra bit. But it did still feel like they weren't going to get it without Superman. I mean, but I feel like
you're right.
I feel like I don't know. Wonder Woman's pretty freaking strong. I mean, Batman is the only one that should have been scared, shitless. But everybody else had everybody had a shot without Superman. I feel, but
yeah, because I mean, technically, Flash is the real hero because that scene where they lost.
Yeah,
they legit
reverse this time.
Like, they show freaking Superman's body being put back together because it had been ripped to shreds from that blast, and Cyborg's too. Like I don't know if you saw that when the time was. Yeah, I was like, holy shit.
There was another movie a long time ago that I saw. It's kind of off subject where a guy has super speed and there's like an explosion and somebody he loves is in the explosion, and instead of running away, he runs into the explosion to grab her and run out before the explosion could vaporize her. I thought that was a really cool scene, and I kind of felt that when I watched this one because he's basically running into the explosion, but he runs so fast that he's able. Like, I don't want to mention Flashpoint, but he changes time because it reverses, which isn't the first time we've seen that. Because remember back in the day, Christopher Reeve's movie Superman, he flies around the planet backwards and reverses the rotation, which somehow that science means you're going to reverse time. I don't get it, but it's cool. I mean, so seeing those, I almost felt like that was almost a nod to that too. You know what I mean? So in the original, the 2017, we got the nod to the cartoon guy, and this one we get nods to other Superman movies from the past. So it all kind of just combines into one warm, Justice League family of movies for me.
And I'm pretty sure that's gonna lead into Flashpoint. I'm assuming that whole, because that's what's next, and they're gonna reset a couple things. But one small thing they changed, I guess a big thing. And I guess, I'll mention this and then I'll go into what I'm saying. But Lewis pregnant. Very small changes there where she, takes the pregnancy test. And then at the end there, I know this because I saw, as I was Googling information on the movie, at the end when they're at the Kent farm, she's in the theatrical cut carrying in boxes, but in this cut, she's carrying in a baby basket. So he intentionally changed that, which little super baby in there.
Right.
Or Bruce baby, we don't know. But in the end, I guess none of this matters because they already have said there won't be a sequel to this version of the Justice League.
Right. Which is
yes. This is the better version, I think.
Absolutely. This is definitely the better version. I mean, look at Steppenwolf. You go from something that looks like it came out of a Power Ranger movie or a TV show to this thing that just has like his armor is living almost. It's so, I don't know.
Which I loved.
This is obviously the best version, even though I didn't like the part, intermissions throughout. But outside of that, absolutely.
And who knows? It may change your mind if this does well enough, which will bring us to what does the old Rotten Tomatoes say about this, sir?
I'm not really surprised actually. The tomato meter is at 75%. Not certified fresh, but it does have a nice red ripe tomato. And the audience score, again, no surprise to me, is 97%.
Oh,
I completely expected that.
yeah.
So, which to compare, just if you guys want to know, right now the other Justice League movie, very similar, is a 40% tomato meter, a nice green splat, and then the audience score is a 71%.
Oh, damn.
So actually, that's actually higher than I thought it would be for the audience score. But hands down, people are liking the Snyder Cut. They appreciate the original vision for this film.
Yeah, a lot more somber. Did you think this Flash was an improvement or just as goofy?
Just as goofy. He was definitely the comedic relief, but he's kind of like that sometimes in the comics too. He's kind of just a jokester.
I just hate how. Scrape my knee. I hate that.
Yeah, a little overdone. He wasn't as bad. He didn't ruin it like a Jar Jar Binks would, but he did. It was a little like the annoying kid in the group.
Go watch Not For You, sir.
Absolutely go watch. Just make sure you have some time because it's 4 hours and 2 minutes.
Same here. If you got the time, check it out for sure. 4 hours and 2 minutes of fun. And I think, like I said, I think it's different enough to where you won't be disappointed.
But you won't be surprised.
Yeah. The dream sequences, though, nightmare sequence. If you get a chance, rewatch the one from Batman v Superman, because it makes a lot more sense after watching this. And yeah, basically that's all caused by Superman joining Darkseid. Spoilers. But yeah,
I think we should also mention. We didn't really mention how puny Darkseid looked.
Yeah,
and I wish he was bulkier. I think the same thing happened with Apocalypse in the X-Men movie. They made him tiny. I don't know why they keep doing that. They keep making folks. Are we the only one that complains about that, or do other people feel that way?
Can you imagine if they made Thanos look like that?
Oh man, that would have been horrible.
We riot.
Yeah. But yeah.
That's what else can I say? Just that the Snyder Cut, did it live up to the hype? Not quite, because there's a shit ton of hype. This movie's been like 4 years in the making, but it's not a bad movie at all. Justice League, the Snyder Cut, in some theaters and on HBO Max now. That's episode 169. Where you can find us at gowatchamovie.com. Anything you want to say extra? I kind of never ask before I go into anything. Sorry.
No, you're fine. We're good.
Okay. Where you can find us at gowatchmovie.com, the one-stop shop for all things entertainment. The news stories are there. I'll get the trailers up if I don't share them on the socials. And the podcast is there, and the podcast is also anywhere a podcast can be played. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
Go watch a movie.
Grab your popcorn, rip that ticket. Get in that seat, lickety-split it. Go watch a